Hello world! Wave Time here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. Now, I know it's a bit of a patch, it's not exactly the best way to solve the issue, but what I did was basically the regulator cannot handle multiple stacks of a single type of item. Therefore, what I did was instead of having 64 plus 20, I had 64 here and 20 here. I still only have 3 leads to the AND gate, which I removed the counter and the timer from. Only a single pulse will be needed to pull out of all of the items. Now, as you see, we already generated some good amount of energy devices. I might be able to find my transposers. Here we go. And my redstone tubes. Help me out a bit. Here we are. Redstone tubes. And let's add a bit onto this relay stuff. So, okay. And okay. So we'll have one here just for fun. And if we could actually have the blasted stuff connecting. So one there, and we can have our little alchemical chest thingamabob. One of these, and on here, I'll fix that in a second. And of course you throw the pipe in there. Thank you, that was really helpful. And now that we have that there, we can put this here, thus expanding it slightly more. And this one won't read any patches if we can get it correct right away. And of course we can't. Okay, so let's get our white alchemy bag, our screwdriver, and in the future I won't needlessly show you all of these portions because it will be pretty easy in the future. Now all that we'll need to do is grab some Eternalist fuel from one of our stores. It doesn't really matter that we have to take it from that area. And put one Eternalist fuel in each of our condensers so that they can start generating energy once again. Okay, now that that is over and we can put some of our useless stuff in our alchemy bag, I want to show you something I was working on. Now, as you see, there is a building for every single thing that we are doing. Over here we have our industrial craft building. We have our red power building, which for some reason looks like a colossal brain. We have our laser buildcraft building, which still needs some alterations, so I know how to fix it now. And now we have our completed Thom craft building. Of course, this will have a wall, so you might not be able to see the entire thing from the courtyard. But if we go in, there's still a lot of light, and there is a lot of glass. Now, you can't... What the hell? Huh. How the heck did a creeper get there? Okay, obviously I'm going to have to brighten up that place, but there wasn't really... Okay, who put a creeper spawner? Who put the creeper spawner? Creepers. Okay, obviously they came from here. So, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted twice for that matter. If we go out and look at the building from on top, you can probably see the kind of the runic essence of this building, kind of made as if it's a giant rune. Now, I'm not sure if I got that correct. It kind of looks more like a silicon chip, honestly, but I think it works. Now, over here, we do still have a taint siphoning device. Now, the thing that I am thinking of doing is, well, we have 2 lone crystals over here that are getting very, very, very lonely. Now, what I want to do is maybe have some way to generate tainted crystals. The only way to generate tainted crystals at any reasonable amount of speed is to have, well, a tainted area. Now, you're going to say a few things right now, probably very profane things, which you do have some right to say, in the fact that, hey, Wei, taint, I don't think it's a very good idea to have stuff like that near your base. And like I said before, you'd be right to say that, because tainted creepers are not fun. Though I seem to get a lot of soul fragments from these, so they might be a good area to get taint stuff. However, tainted chicken. However, tainted areas make tainted crystals, which will get more stuff to be able to create more taint. Now, what I think we'll want to do is select a chunk, like a well-defined chunk boundary, which hopefully has a good amount of taint already, preferably far away from the base, and then just select it and imprison it as our tainted chunk. Now I'm thinking what we'll do is take the chunk that's already taken up by this. So we'll just have to go around and see which is the tainted area. Okay, I was in a chunk boundary. Okay. Backing slowly until I find the well-defined cutoff. Okay, well-defined cutoff, so that means... I love looking at the numbers, it's fun. So I'll just mesh out some of the boundaries, and that's obviously a chunk boundary, so be right back. Okay, now we have a nice, clear, defined chunk boundary. As we can see with how we have our setup totems of dawn, making sure that nothing goes around, we can probably just move up the totems so that we can get this part purified a bit more and getting a few more totems for our own recreational use. Or what we can do is hunt a few forests to be able to, just go around, kill things. But I think this is probably the last time we'll use this particular Brazier of Souls, because I think we do have enough. Anyways, let's calculate how many things we'll need. The Totems of Dawn will basically, the only use of them will be to make sure that taint does not spread outside the area, the chunk rather, that we are defining. Now if we space them out 2 each, and we have a 16 by 16 chunk, they need to be 2 away from it, from the chunk border. So that's basically, instead of, like, let's see, it'll be 16 like that, and it'll be boarding it. So we'll have to have at least a stack of these totems. So what we can do is go into the forest, since we do have a lot of these V's crystals. V's crystals aren't the problem. What is the problem is getting enough of those wood pieces. Yeah. So I think I will try to find one of my past ages, but I will need to make some assurances that I come back to this particular location. I got a single book, and we have a book to the nether, so if I needed to, I'll just go in there. But let's just repair that particular part of the wall, which probably was like that for a long time. Facing this direction, make another book, making sure it's in our hotbar, and I'll meet you again, age 98. I've been in age 98 for a long time, I gotta say. It's not sure why, but anyways, at least I have the gift of flight in this, so if there is any sort of corrosion anywhere at all, I'll just be able to whisk myself away. Now, axe, and I guess I'll be right back. Okay, I think I have enough right now. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see how much, if anything, I got in here. Not a bad haul, actually. Let's just kill these just for fun and maybe have a little gauntlet challenge. This is gonna be fun. Maybe get a few souls while I'm at it. Might as well, because we are probably running out of a few. Actually, this would probably be a nice survival area where I can go, assuming that nothing blows up my items, which is very likely. Okay, well, I just have a little fun here. I'll meet you back in age 98. Now that we're finally back in this age, I can probably use that mass fabricator later. Oh well. Let's see how much Vis we have. We don't really have much to write home about. That's a definite thing. We can probably suck out some of the local aura. That would probably be the best thing if we run out of stuff. So let's just use our communal infuser and take most of our vaporous crystals that we have. Request. Wait a second. Oops. Yes, it does use vaporous crystals. Ooh, crud. I am using the wrong recipe. Hang on. Thaumonomicon. Okay, forbidden. No, it's tainted. Dang it, I need to make some Netors. Okay, that was a bit of a waste. Netors, and it has to be these crystals. Okay, so now I gotta make a few Netors, and that won't be too much of a problem. I think we have everything required for Netors. Let's go with a nice healthy 64 to start off with, and then we can probably continue on from there. 64, and let's just watch our Vis go away. In fact, it's probably best if we just add a few of these vaporous crystals to our condenser array. Like, probably one each will suffice. So while I do this, I'll wait for everything to start working. Okay, we got all of our 64 Netors, and let's try to do a bit of alchemical math right now. We're just putting that back up, so we have about 2,300. Divide that by 20. Okay, 2,000. We have enough, I believe, but we're still adding a lot by taking from the local aura. It will replenish eventually, but let's just take all of this and see that we'll probably have to wait a long time for this to start working, but honestly, I can wait. Activate! Tainted knowledge. Okay, now we go. And I hope that simmering sound was like saying happy birthday or something like that. Though I don't think that's likely. So 20 per will have enough eventually. We'll need like 700 extra, though this seems to be gaining quite a bit of Vis, so we'll have to see how that goes in the end. See you on the other side. Boom, 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 do 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 do, boom, 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 boom. Not this time, folks. Okay, we're replenishing that, and I think 50 is enough, honestly, so I'll keep the other 14 logs for later if we don't have enough. 50 should be a good start. In fact, recalculating my numbers, I think it's probably more than enough. So we'll have to start 2 away as the custom, hoping no creepers get behind me, because that would suck. So we just need to organize this so that it goes all around. Thank you for your time. Blah, blah, blah. And, okay, this might not be perfect, but it is at least working. So, let's see. Making sure it's going all around this chunk. So, I'll have to improvise a bit. Now, I've got to think of some ways to raise the chunk's badness. Because currently, I don't think this process will be... Am I good? Yes. I don't think this process will currently give us enough taint. We can't just let it stew and hope for the best. That just won't work. Now, it looks like the dirt is coming back for this area. That's good, but it's not touching the chunk that we want to have the high taint in. And it will be good. Okay. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Now, there are a few ways that we can raise the taint very high in this without doing like drastic measures. Can probably get one of those tanks. And we have left over. That's nice. We can get one of those tanks and bring it over way over here with the power of suction, and then just break it open. That's one way we can do this. Another way is to just throw taint bombs and increase the local taint rating. That will also work. There's probably a few other ways that we can do this, like industrial accidents and all that, but I think those are probably our only two main options that we have. Because interference in other ways probably won't work. So now that we actually have 10 extra, we can increase our local aura over here, and maybe we can find some way to increase our local light levels, because that would be useful also. Okay, raising our aura one step at a time. And there always seems to be a space empty. Oh well. Let's see how our aura, our V's level is right now. Very high. We can put our last 14 in just for fun. And let's see. We have a lot of taint here. So what we can do is ask for a few... Wait, we don't have any V's crystals in its inventory. So what we can do is get a bunch more storage tanks, get a bunch more conduits also, to then bring all of the taint over and then just break them open one by one. That'll skyrocket our taint amount. And as you can see, it's clearing up and defining the chunk very nicely. So I think this should work. Okay, I'll just make some V's tanks and then see what else we can do. Okay, we got a lot of conduits, we got a V's pump and some bellows, so we should also pull out our arcane tinkering tool. I think it is in our white alchemy bag. Tools, tools, tools. Arcane tinkering tool. Actually, I think it is in the chest that we have all of our excess crystals in. So let's run in, grab it, and next time throw it in our alchemy bag, since that is honestly where it belongs. So we'll put down our pump first and put it with our taint stuff. The reason we'd want it here instead is because, well, we only want taint. We don't want any of that V's or anything like that, because that'd just be wrong. Okay, hoping we get a strong suction on here. Hoping so. And okay, let's bring this out. Okay, we're actually probably going to need a few more conduits, so I'm just gonna clear a path, steal some of the conduits there, and bring the into a tank, which will just come way out here. Yay, progress! Okay, we got those nice little conduits down. Now we're just going to need to make a good storage tank and find out a good way to increase the suction dramatically. So that doesn't really do anything, obviously. That only makes that tank increase. So we're going to have to actually put these down on here, and even then it might not be strong enough. So we'll probably need to get a new pump. So let's run down till the junction where it will need another pump. So we'll put a pump here instead. Pump, pump, pump. Let's steal that. It's not needed for now. Those won't be needed either. These won't be needed either. And we got this. Is it pulling anything? And it still needs just one more. Wait. Yes, there we go. We're actually getting some degree of taint. So this is going to take a long time to fill up the tank. It's going at about 20 a second. Probably a lot more than that, 25 a second or something like that. In the meantime, there's probably some things that we're going to have to handle before we do anything too drastic. Let's see. That's somehow encroaching, even though there shouldn't be anything there whatsoever. And that just doesn't sound right, you know? I'm being rushed. Bye, pig. Taste my taint. Okay, hopefully that these will increase when we finally break this tank. In fact, let's break this tank right now. Break this one also, so that we'll have... Okay, it's at 4,000 taint. Now it's at 5,000. Okay, so our method of transportation works. Now it doesn't look like it's spilled out at all, though we didn't really do a test to see if it spilled out. So we're at 4,500. And we're still at 4,500, but this is still raising. So hopefully these will start growing very quickly. And let's see, is it going 4,530? So that's good. And these seem to be inhibiting the taint from spreading from this chunk at all. So we seem to be doing well for ourselves. So let's just wait a few minutes. Wait for all of our taint supply to go poof. And then we'll probably have a good amount of taint left over. Okay, it looks like all of our taint is gone from that area. And yes, I did light up the basement like I needed to. That's pretty much what I needed to do. And now this area has 5,500 taint. When we break all of these storage tanks, it'll rocket up to 9,000. So we're at 4,530 there, making sure none of it spills out. Let's do those to start with. And it seems like only a bit is spilling out. In fact, actually a bit more than a bit. So let's, we're going to need to make some more totems, like to completely make sure all of it stays in. Actually, the only way to make sure all of it stays in would be to have it, well, not there in the first place would be one reason. And another reason, way would be to just cover them up all the way. So let's see. Still going at a high amount, so it's still spilling out. Not what was intended. So maybe making this tainted chunk is not the best way to do things. Let's see, is it still spilling out? Yes, it is. So maybe the Brazier of Souls would be one way to keep it in also, but we'll need to have a constant feed in it. But considering how much we can gain from having all this tainted, like for instance more and more of those to clean up the area, a bunch of Brazier of Souls will be a small price to pay, seeing as it costs barely anything. So let's just break all of these, and we're at 9,000 taint. It's over 9,000! Sorry, I had to, okay? I had to. Okay, pulling all of the taint in and the aura, making sure that it stays in this place and doesn't spill out into the local chunks, because that is not what we'll want. But at least if it was to spill out, the worst that can happen is that it goes way back over here. But we can make a bunch more of those soul stuff in the future to sort everything out. And we